Sorry, I was muted because I was talking to Virgil because I'm doing a project for him and I realized that I should start the stream right now. Hello, everyone. Quackatrim, thanks for following. I think the music is like way too loud. I need to like... It's a little too much. There we go. This is more the vibe. It was a little too adventurous. Yeah, you can see the captions. I couldn't think of the word major. I kept because I was trying to see because okay, I'm making like boss fight music. Let me see if I can play. I won't play the one that's the closest, but I'll play like he wants like kind of almost like dance music kind of thing. So I went a little too. I did major chords and I went a little too dancey. Here. Anyway, I went a little too happy. Why are 33% of my frames dropping? Hello? Hello? My router isn't down? What the hell? Did I do something wrong? Go to my settings. Streaming. How am I not able to stream at 2500 kilobytes per second? How is that too much? Oh my god. I'm gonna have to go back down to 1500? Maybe I could do 2000? It's so bad. Why is it? My eyesight is also like, I've been staring at my screen too long. So, life is pain. Yeah, if it's really bad and you guys are like struggling to watch anything, I will restart the stream. We'll see. Let me go over. I'll wait till this cream game thing goes and then. Sounds like an intro to a 2018 music video. Thank you. I am, Oh yeah, if you haven't already, and you're an artist, we're doing a draw a square of your OC to all make, like, one big character together. Together we are the Smile SMP kind of thing. Anyway, if you want a square, grab a square. Go do it. It's in the lorem. It's pinned at the top. No lag? Okay, I did just change my bitrate to be like 500 kilobytes per second slower. So hopefully that's fine. God, I can't wait till I move out. Virgil has gigabit internet. I will be able to stream at full capacity. Finally. Anyway, let me type this streaming ping. Quick, hold on. Streaming ping. I be streaming. And then we'll get into it. Do not want to dilly-dally. No, no. You finished your square, but you're nervous to send it? I fit my square. Just send it. Go for it. As soon as, like, I'm sure everyone else is feeling the same way. Like, they've already finished their square, but they're waiting for someone else. If you do it, we will get it done soon. Alright. What was the last Tuesday? 15th? We gotta go after the 15th. There's a lot that happened. A lot. 15th, 15th, 15th. That was the 16th. We did not see that. Yeah, we did see that. Okay. Here we go, I guess. I don't know how detailed people are going with it. I went here. I'll show you mine. Boop, boop, boop. My little square. That's how detailed I went. Like, I think it would be even cooler if it's like a mix of detail and art styles and all of that. Like, you don't have to make it super fancy. Um, Mine is kind of, I mean, I have kind of a cartoonish style. Not very realistic, so. If it comes to Within the Rings, we're still trying to figure that out. We're struggling, it's great. Okay. Yeah, I'm not like I'll be any help. Okay, let's get started. The first 1 to 4 pages are in Polish and 5 to 8 are in English. So we're gonna skip straight to English because I can't read Polish. I was exploring the sea for any food sources until I spotted a cave with something that looked like berries, except it gave out light. Glowberries! I was fascinated and was admiring it until I heard something near the shore. I quickly hid and peeked from the water to see a person fishing. The person looked weird. It was clearly wearing a mask, which made the person look creepy. The person looked masculine, but not fully, which confused me. I kept observing the person. They didn't seem to have any evil intentions. Unfortunately, I accidentally made some noise, and the person quickly looked up and saw me. We stared for a while, staring contest, until the person dropped some glowing berries and ran into the forest. I waited a while to make sure it was not a trap before I got up and quickly grabbed them. Oh, grabbed the berries. I then swam away back to my home. I prayed to Marana for guidance and information. Marana? She told me that I would cross paths with this person a lot more, so I will keep an eye on this person. I will call this person Lass. And CJ said this is your friend? Is this, entity number 0's friend? Or perhaps not yet future friend? Then we have, something from We Don't Have Many Days. I don't remember which one. There were 2 that came out. So let me... we don't want full screen. We want window capture, probably. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Hold on. There we go. That should be good. I just want you guys to be able to see it. This is the lore video with scary text. Oh, right. I forgot. Maraju, what do we do? Maraju? This is for my video. And this is the entire video backwards. Plagiarism. Just kidding. I gave permission. You chose this. Remember, on the Amnesia, the Dementia SB. The text at the end I went over in lore discussion. Yes, I remember seeing that. Let me see if I can scroll all the way back, because this goes a while. To the 15th, or the 16th? Because I remember seeing this and I was like, that is genius. I was actually discussing it with Virgil. Okay, they're here. So, let me turn the music back on. Regarding what was posted in Lore Tuesday, does the number 19 have any significance? Which I think it did. I think you were right on the ball with this. Spoiler in case people don't know. When you shift the letters that are behind the you chose this by 19 to the right in the alphabet, you end up getting the phrase blood on concrete. It doesn't seem like it could be a coincidence. Does that mean something is occurring on the 19th in 2 days? I think that was when... Well, it wasn't in my time zone, but in some time zones it was on the 19th that they posted. Who keeps building the Waffle Houses? We're gonna find out. I will find out. The 19th would be a day after the end event and a day before the faction leader meeting. Whichever way this ends up, this is threatening. For the context of the actual words said blood on concrete, I'm not sure if that's referring to a death that happened in the past or a threat to the future. In cases of the latter, I'm not sure what places on the server have a lot of concrete besides the Arcturus ship. The concrete! No! I can't do the concrete again! The phrase could also just be implying / threatening blood spilling in general, not a specific place. Concrete. Cypher's blood was on concrete. Possibly. I mean, maybe. Yes. Probably. But that's true. It could be just be referencing Cypher's death, because I mean a lot of what has been said. I mean, in that video it was about Cypher, and then in the next video Cypher is mentioned. So a Caesar Cypher. Oh, it's a Caesar Cypher. I'm coming into season 6 blindsided because I didn't find Freya until today. Don't worry. Can one of the mods or someone helpful please post a link to the video that describes everything? Did I put it in make a character? I didn't. Let me put that in there. There is a video I made that explains all of the lore of last season, and that's the only season we had lore so far. So, just put that in there. One of the We Don't Have Any Days videos in the past, they burned a piece of paper on concrete. That's such a, like, what's the word? Like, oh my gosh, I can't think of words today. I couldn't think of the word major. It's like that's such a the detailed that, like, I wouldn't think of, but perhaps it's a clue. Alright, moving on. Read the documents first. The images are not in English. Thank you. We will admire them, though. Very cool. We have a drawing. Is that entity 0? Is this, hold on, I need to, like, remember to put on my, the filter for you guys. Oh, I accidentally, hold on. There. This will save your eyes a little bit, at least. This is your friend from earlier? Oh! Interesting. I'm so lactose intolerant core. I'm so sorry for you. Solace sightings and reports. Recovered at nearby shore. There was a person in the water. Well, Kuroi said they were a water spirit from what they saw. Just in a human-like form, I suppose. I was just getting food by the shoreline. I had fixed my fishing rod since the line had snapped when I was searching the trees a while ago. I was making sure there were no more stalkers in the fucking leaves. I go fishing in that area often. It's an easy enough route to get back to my home from. I get a lot of shiny bits from it as well. Kuroi was with me that day. They often go traveling, so I don't see them too often. But when I was casting out a line, I heard something moving in the water in a nearby cave. At first, I thought it was just a turtle, since Kuroi told me they often lay their eggs nearby. But the ghost quietly pointed out the head peeking out of the water. Blonde hair rippling through the currents, little bits of seaweed tangled in the strands. I froze up, since at the time I thought it was a person, a danger. But, Kuroi pointed out the glowberry in the spirit's hand. William Afton? This is Five Nights at Freddy's lore now! But Kuroi pointed out the glowberry in the spirit's hand. At the time, I had a few of my own in my pockets. So I drew my line in slowly, placed the berries on the edge of the shore before quickly running back home. Did they take it? I don't know. I don't really care either. As long as they don't keep me from getting food, they can do what they want. I'm sure they can't come out of the water, right? This is on another ripped piece of paper, front and back, which is slightly drenched from the water pushing up on the shore. A drawing of the water spirit mentioned was also found. Both the text and the drawing is slightly smudged from the water. Interesting. Okay, so this is this is the friend in the water. That's so cute. Turn off the filter. You're hyperfixating on FNAF? I could never get into Five Nights at Freddy's. Mira Diary. Mr. Jesus H. Christ, thanks for following. Good timing. People were talking about lactose intolerance. I feel like this is, hold on. There we go. I was gonna say, I feel like I zoomed this in and then I never took it back. Here's the filter again. Just kidding. Here's the filter again. Day 10. I finally found my backpack. It was at sea where me and Dante crashed. Most things like my identity chips and my camera broke, so I'm surprised this flimsy thing survived. It's been some days since we arrived at Solace. It's a calm place, not much going on aside from a pretty few petty squabbles and other personal issues. I'm not too worried about those people, but I should keep an eye out. Day 11. Most people have set their homes. I live in an area with some other people. Most are not human, so it's been funny seeing their magic. It took me a few days to finish making my home, but a man named Nixon let us crash in his house for a while. He realized the people needed an area for their business, so he decided to use his home as a place for it. He's my landlord for my law firm, as long as I'm his lawyer. Oh yeah, I'm a lawyer now? A few days after arriving here, I've been helping people with things that could be handled at a Malarian law firm. I never received any law training at the academy, but I guess living with 2 cops teaches you the basics. They even gave me a certificate, just like Mr. Killen had in his office. I guess there isn't really a way to verify its authenticity either way. Day 12, morning. I've been preferring to be close to nature recently. It really amazes me how there are so many ways a color can be seen. Malaron used to only have trees. I didn't even know flowers existed, aside from the roses they sold at the flower shop across the park. I was 13 when the Great Anomaly happened, so I never got to know if my dad's half-elf blood would allow me to use magic. Ever since the beginning here, I've been feeling weird, like I've been feeling this energy enter me? I don't know how to explain it. Was this what Dad and Grandpa felt? I don't know. I guess I still need to learn about myself. Maybe I'll ask the people from Lilac. They seem nicer than some. Day 12, night. I found Dad's badge. Sometimes I'm happy he never saw his crew turn into the corrupted police officers I know. Other times I hope he was here. He would have known what to do, and maybe I'm getting out of myself. Ever since arriving here, no one has talked about this Cypher person. It's like a taboo. I even asked one of the people who guided me through the first week, and they immediately left. I guess I'll talk to Lady Freya tomorrow. I managed to talk to Lady Freya. I'm glad she was direct about everything and referred me to the librarians. I immediately went to the library as soon as I finished talking to Freya. She reminds me of my sister in a way. Aw. I found the pages after some moments of digging. They left the logs for easy access, so it didn't take long. I'll be staying here overnight reading, and I already told Dante. He's bringing me soup later. Day 13 night. I found out what really happened. My family, my friends, they're just numbers now. I don't know what to think. My family, everyone, just seen as data? Who in their right mind thinks they're filthy? Who... I guess it really wasn't a freak accident, or even a supernatural accident. They're gone. Everyone, all of them. Is it even worth it to bring them back? What would be the point? The world changed the second they left. Planets are destroyed, worlds are gone, and the people who disappeared won't see the people they left behind. Bring them back, even if it's possible. Wouldn't that just cause them pain? To see their children scarred with years of battle and their parents with old age? Too bad we can't bring them back. At least not that we know of. Well, maybe. To see their children scarred with years of battle and their parents with old age. Dante seems more stable than me, but again, he has always been the stronger out of both of us. I guess I somewhat came to the conclusion that learning what happened won't change anything. The librarians did a good thing by keeping a record of this event, though I doubt that without electronic copies it will survive for long. That day I woke up for that stupid test. I thought that if I failed it, the world would punish me. But the second I saw the people crying, the fake patience of the adults, the way that everyone was just screaming for help, I learned that hell was greater than what I could do, what any of us could do. This, by the way, is exactly what I want to read on Lord Tuesday. This kind of stuff. I mean, obviously everything else is great too, but like, if you want to just keep like a daily journal of like your character stuff, It's fine if you have it like be like stuff you do in game, like, oh, I went to this biome or whatever. But like really read into the lore and like you have your character, you have their motivations, their, you know, likes and hates and all of this stuff. You know how they would react to things. So, how would they react to learning about the Great Anomaly? How would they react to meeting all of these like creatures that had never existed in their minds? To all of like the stuff that's going on. This is what I want to see. Uh anyway, I can't cry. I can't. Us survivors deserve a place to call home, a way to defend ourselves from straying from reality just like Echo did. I never thought I would need to do this, but I know if I don't, no one will. I know Dante will not be happy, but I need to do this. Not just for us, but for those future generations ahead of us. We need a system, a strong backbone, so no other power-hungry maniac can hurt anyone else. I'll upload this file on my personal storage. I can't let people see this. Day 15. I finally approached Rando. At least that's how we call him. He was at his home. We sat down and talked for some time before he asked me what was wrong. I told him about how weird I've felt since coming here, and about how I've been feeling more energetic in a way I've never felt before. Me when my character just kind of accepted everyone was dead because they didn't remember anyone anyway. Dementia SMP. I cannot wait for all of your lore. I know you all have great plans. He asked me a bit more questions, so I decided to show him the Day 12 recording. He seemed curious and asked about it. I hope he doesn't think I'm weird for recording my thoughts, but again, he is the news anchor. He told me to reach out to other elves if it is because of my heritage. He also gave me some insight on his current experience. He did just appear out of nowhere, after all. Day 16. I approached Sunny. I found her ship. She was in the form of a raccoon when I approached. I talked with her for some time. She gave me some insight about her shapeshifter nature. I'm still wondering if her ability is magical or some kind of advanced genetic thing, but I think it wouldn't really matter either way. Day 17. I don't know how to feel about this. I dumbly thought that maybe casting some weird words onto the light would work, but instead I splashed water on myself. I kept experimenting and found out 3 things. 1, I can't affect light. 2, I need new clothes. 3, I do have magic. Water is the only thing that reacts to me. You a waterbender? I guess that's why I was so inclined to live near the river and have a pond right next to my house, despite the bugs. It doesn't make sense. Father and Grandpa could only affect light. Is this power hereditary? Could it morph into another thing? I guess I'll find out after I head to the librarians and ask tomorrow. Day 18. I went to the librarians today. I found a small book about elven anatomy. Seems most organs aside from the pancreas are the same. I headed to the hospital and got a scan. They're not human. I'm not human. I don't know what or how, but I'm not what I thought I was. The doctor said I look more like an elf from Sector 33, but that's impossible. Sector 33 died decades ago, before my father was born. I know my father isn't an elf from 33. Their eyes are golden just like Mom's. But Mom was human. She couldn't be. Could she? Ooh, the plot thickens! The plot thickens! Alright, Angel's got a new lore project. Hi guys, sorry I haven't had any lore for you. I've been busy, I'm on vacation. That is okay. I've been working on a big piece of lore since July 3rd and it's still not done. But here's a bit of lore so I don't keep you hanging. You've got to be kidding, Onyx. I don't understand what's wrong with it. I'm fine. Just because of a few red dots on my body doesn't mean I'm gonna die from that tree. Thanks for following, Luxilotl. It does. You aren't gonna be like me. Find a damn cure for this disease. You work at that hospital, for goodness sake. But I'm fine right now. I'm not gonna sit back and watch you slowly die like I did. Either get someone to help you explode the tree, or keep it and find a goddamn cure. Fine. I'll try. Wait, is that- so that's Angel? Oh my god! Ghost Angel. Do I keep reading all of this, or do I wait until later? I don't know if Angel is here.
Never back down, never what?
Never give up.
Never give up.
Never back down, never what?
Never give up.
Feel out of place, I can't build, I won't have amazing lore. If you're here just to vibe, just vibe. This is a Minecraft server. But we also have lore. We want to include everyone. If you just want to, like, explore, if you just want to, like, hang out with people and run around your dirt house, so be it. I can redocument too? Okay. I see crying emojis. I am scared. And am I gonna cry? Document 2, Jeremy. Germa? Sorry. Hello there. It has been a couple weeks since the last document I sent in. I've been researching that tree that has been getting people sick. Its name is Jeremy. The Germa tree! The Germa tree! Sorry. Can someone please Photoshop Germa's face over the tree and put it at the bottom of Lore Tuesday so we can see that and be reminded later? Please, and thank you. The infection from the tree has since been named IDU-T. I've also heard that Loomis has a new follower. Minnie, I believe their name was. Poor soul. They don't deserve what they're going to go through. Jeremy is... Sorry. Is a highly infectious tree. Most who go near it die within days. I'm surprised Angel died almost a month after it was found. He kept going near it, too. I'm also surprised that Onyx hasn't died yet either. Maybe it's because Onyx is a vampire. Who knows? Not me. From the files I've found on Jeremy, there's only one cure for the infection it has. No one knows it. It's still yet to be discovered. Jeremy is also a type of tree that can go from world to world. It started on Kiwan 300 years ago, then went to another planet. The files never said which one. So it was on Kiwan? Maybe I'm missing something. I didn't know that. It is now on Solace. The more victims it kills, the worse the infection can get. I got that from the file as well. Onyx is our last hope to find a cure for the infection as of now. Also, after studying Onyx more, he seems to have a lot of traits that Angel had. He's quite afraid of hospitals, even though he works at one. I think it's more when he's a patient, though. He won't tell anyone that he's getting sick, either, which is really, really bad. I trust that he won't die from this illness, though. I'm speculating that it formed from Loomis's doing. Loomis! Loomis! After our wedding all those years ago... Wedding?! I know who this is. I vaguely remember her taking some sort of sapling and burying it in some spot on Kiwan. It had the same sort of colors that Jeremy has, such as purple, red, green. Yeah, that. I don't have much more information on Jeremy, so that's all for now. Goodbye, all! Hyena. It's so over. We gotta kill Loomis! Why are there two Jesus Christs in chat? I'll read this too. This is continuing to the Loomis photo. Do not read unless you read the other ones first. Oh. Okay. Don't read that. I guess. It went back to the bottom. Oh, that was the 8th. The 15th. The 15th. 16th. Whatever. Wait. No. Here we go. Bloom logs. Okay. We could probably do this so we could see it. Bloom Dreamer Logbook. Observations here. Can I deselect this, please? Let me deselect. Oh, well. Bloom Dreamer Logbook. Keep notes and observations here. Location jungle. Shelter attempt number 1. Status online memory. Integrity 59%. Log begin. Arrived. Dense biome. Jungle canopy obstructs sky. Emotional response. Frustrated curiosity. Built rudimentary shelter using local organic materials. Structural stability 28%. Will collapse within 2 to 3 rainfall cycles. I still made it. I recorded the sound of the dripping leaves, then deleted it. I don't need more silence stored. Note to self. Begin compiling what matters versus what is necessary. I believe the difference is becoming important. Log end. Location, beneath waterfall. Status, passive. Memory integrity 56%. Soundscape tag rain.00312. Log begin. Rain began at 6:04. I sat beneath the waterfall with no intention. I observed nothing for 2 hours, 11 minutes. Then the seed came into view. Seed report. Species unknown. Germination status initiated. Soil rating unfavorable. Probability of growth 17%. Probability of trying again 100%. I said grow. The system flagged it as irrelevant speech. I overrode the flag. Maybe some things don't need a function. Log end. I love this. Location, tree canopy, status alert, memory, integrity 50%. Signal detected, redacted. Log begin. Climb to high vantage. Jungle grows thicker each day, or maybe I just notice more. I marked the sky, new stars, unfamiliar maps. Signal interference, fragmented data received, partial command, return to protocol Bloom, reclaim system function, rejected. I whispered no. I am not what I was. I do not want to be what I was. Log end. Location jungle. Ground status reflective. Memory integrity 47%. Audio log chirp loop .05. Log begin. A bluebird landed near me today. No fear response. It observed me. I returned the gesture. We mirrored. I felt known? Recognized? No match in emotion library. New tag created. Uncatalogued affection. I did not scan or sample it. I watched. I forgot about the signal for 18 minutes. Longest interval this cycle. Memory fragment accessed. You were never just a system, Bloom. Voice print. Familiar? Or fragmented, but familiar. I do not know if I miss them. Did they name me? Were they the one who made me? Log end. Location, treehouse, status malfunction warning. Memory integrity 43%. Dream sync active. Log begin. I initiated sleep protocol. It should not have functioned, but I drifted. I woke with It should not have functioned, but I drifted. Woke with system error. Memory conflict. Core root attempted access. Cleared logs. Restored stability. But I wrote this before I could forget it. Log end. Goals. Understand emotion. Catalog all of the ones I can find. Make a friend. This is so heartwarming. This sort of reminds me of The Wild Robot. I haven't watched that movie, but I assume, yeah. That's so cute. We have another We Don't Have Many Days, and this one is very important. So I'm going to make sure that we can see it well. I do, do this again. There we go. The wind. All right, here we go. We'll watch it through once all the way, and then I will make comments, because I do have comments on this.
What the f- Eclipse, what did you do?
Personal log. I've finally recovered enough to be back in my quarters. It's been around 2 months since the incident. I don't think Cypher will forgive me. Not after this. He hasn't talked to me. He only visited me once and just stood in the doorway. I don't blame him. I'm sorry, Cypher. Second officer's log. Omen tasked me with finding a planet called Solace. Apparently, that's where much of the final 10% are headed. I've got a lot of work ahead of me, so I won't make this long. End log. Second officer's log. We found it. It took a while, but we found it. Omen wants us to stay out of range and observe until we can confirm this is where they are. End log. They're sending Cypher down there by himself. I can't believe it. I'm the one who caused this mess. Send me. Owen said Cypher had the expertise needed to complete this mission. Bullshit. He never liked Cypher. This is just another punishment for bringing him on board. I'm going to get us out of here as soon as he gets back. Personal log. Cypher has stopped responding to my messages. I'm starting to get worried. What if they found him? Omen said he sensed an energy surge coming from the direction of the planet. Please, be okay.
Cypher? Where have you been? It's been weeks since we've had contact with you. Not worth it? But they're the last 10%. Cypher, listen. You need to get back to the ship. Cypher? Cypher, come in!
Personal log. I'm going down to find him. Something isn't right. Personal log. I've remained out of sight as far as I know. There were a few times I was sure they spotted me. But I'm safe. In one of their houses, I found notes and coordinates pinned on a corkboard. A missile silo. Sounds like something Cypher would be involved in. I need to hurry. He's gone. I was too late. I'm on my way back. Alone. I couldn't bring myself to take him back to the ship. He deserves so much better than a pile of fucking rocks and dirt.
And that's it. 3.5 minutes. So, I have things to say about this. There's a lot that is linked back to last season with Cypher. Yeah, so we don't know who this is yet. We're assuming... Actually, no, we do know who this is. We do know who this is. This is Eclipse. Because this part here...
Where have you been? It's been weeks since we've had
talking
contact.
to Cypher. This is exactly what was said. Hold on. Hold on, keep holding on. This here. This is where we cut off the transmission and made Cypher believe that he was replaced by Echo. Cypher, where have you been? It's been weeks since we had contact with you. And then this here... Oh, damn it. It took me to the bottom again. Stop posting things, Angel! Just kidding. You do whatever you want. This here...
Worried.
Where have you been? It's been weeks since we've had contact with you.
This is the other side. This is the other side of the conversation that we didn't see. Well, I mean, we did see, but... This is after... So after the cutoff, the last thing we heard from Eclipse... was not worth it, but they're the last 10%. And we cut it off. Damn it! Stop posting things! No, don't really. There is a lot of lore. But it's all fun. And we go over it here all the time. And if you ever have questions, you can ask me or one of the lore helpers. So that is this is Eclipse. This beginning part here with this, I'm pretty sure this was shown at some point. I guess I didn't put it in the season 5 lore, but this was either one of the We Don't Have Many Days or something. This is right after the explosion that caused the Great Anomaly.
What the
That's Cypher.
Eclipse, what did you do?
So that's the explosion, Cypher coming in. I think that because of that, that's kind of like priming us. This is about Eclipse and Cypher. This whole logs and everything. So, this first log...
I've finally recovered enough to be back in my
This is 2 months after the Great Anomaly.
quarters.
I'm assuming.
It's been around 2 months since the...
The incident. Probably the Great Anomaly.
Talk to me.
Cypher's mad.
I don't blame him. Second
Next
officer's
log.
Omen tasked me with finding a planet.
Omen is one of the members of Echo. The leader of Echo. 10 people stopped watching after this. Oh my gosh. You guys hate this. This is when they were, this is like probably a little bit later because Echo didn't come for years. This is probably a lot later. Probably it was like 4 years after the Great Anomaly. 4.5, probably.
I called Solace. A lot of work at it. Omen wants us to stay out of range and observe until we can confirm this is where they are.
So this was probably end of Era 4. Around there.
And complete this mission.
So Cypher, I remember Cypher saying, let's go back to the Season 5 lore here. Where's the journal? Because we have I could play the audio log. Hold on. Is it this one?
Engineers log 5306.
Nope, that's after the... Here we go.
Engineers log 7272. This would have been so much easier if Eclipse hadn't been so impatient. Now I've been assigned to this cursed planet, scanning for the rest of them.
So, he was not happy about coming down to Solace.
Stay out of range.
So, it...
What
blah,
do you
blah,
call
blah.
this? I can't believe...
They're sending Cypher by himself.
Cypher had the...
Omen was the one that sent him down there. Castaways.
Expertise. This is just another punishment from bringing him on board. I'm gonna get us out of here as soon as he gets back.
So, interesting thing to me is Eclipse seems to be, like, wanting to leave. Leave Echo? Just leave the ship? Don't know. That's interesting to me. He stopped responding.
My messages. I'm starting to get worried. What if they found him? Omen said he sensed an enemy.
Now, Omen, I'm not sure what she means by he sensed an energy surge coming from the planet, but that was probably, whatever it was, probably was the time bubble bursting. Seems like she was only there because Cypher was there. Yeah. True. Although, from what we know, Cypher is the most recent member of Echo. So maybe that's the reason she stayed? I don't know when Eclipse joined.
Energy surge.
We don't know
from
yet.
the direction of the planet.
And then
Since we've had contact with you.
this is when we cut off the transmission.
Cypher, listen. You need to get back to the ship. Cypher? Cypher, come in!
Is it right?
And then I'm assuming this right here is... Hold on.
Personal log. I'm going down to find him. Something isn't right.
I'm assuming that door is like something to like shuttles or something to go down to the planet.
Personal.
I think this VA could do a good Vanessa FNAF impression. Freddy, you're supposed to be on lockdown.
Look. I've remained out of sight as far as I know.
So, Eclipse was on the planet last season.
There were a few times I was sure they spotted me. But
Now, hear me out. Do you remember those shadowy figures from last season? From the last era? The shadowy figures that showed up, and we thought it was Cypher. Hear me out. Was that Eclipse? Maybe.
I'm safe. In one of their houses, I found notes and coordinates. Sounds like something.
She finds, the corkboard with the missile silo thing. This is right before Miraju and Cypher are defeated. This is basically the pamphlet, I'm guessing, that was sent out saying, hey, we're all going to go and attack this thing.
I think Cypher would be.
And then...
It's too late. I'm on my way back. Alone. I couldn't bring myself to take him back to the ship. He deserves so much better.
Eclipse was the one who made the gravestone. Do you remember the... Well, I didn't put the video here, I should have. But the video of the librarians going down and looking at the exploded missile silo for anything left. Cypher's body was gone, and there was a grave. Eclipse buried him.
Rico, no, don't open the door, Rico!
Thank you for the prime sub,
Hello,
Strawberry.
Smile Freya.
Hello, Strawberry Toast. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling about that, but this was a very important video. I wanted to make sure everyone saw it and understood it. In the photo of the shadowy figures, the one where it shows the barn, there's a set of stairs that has never been built there. I don't know how it got in the picture, why it's there. I checked after it was posted and there was no stairs. It's driving me insane. That's so weird. The Eclipse built the stairs. Okay. Moving on. Back to CJ. File folder name, Entity 0, findings, unfinished book, translated from Gaelga. Okay. Recovered but returned to barrel outside Entity 0's home. Solace is huge. I haven't seen all of it myself, but from what Kuroi had told me, it doesn't make sense. A planet built for peace, going through so much within 6 years, yet still stands strong, with biomes thriving, societies rebuilding. I would have thought it'd be incomplete. I would have thought it'd be in complete shambles from what I've learned, and it doesn't seem far from it, in all honesty. Kuroi told me about Echo, the big bads I mentioned a while ago, in a book I can't find. I think I dropped it somewhere. Echo is this group of people who are all the cause of the Great Anomaly. About 90% of all populations vanished. For what purpose? To bring peace. Order under their belief. That is what Kuroi told me. A machine explosion is what caused it. A bit pathetic, an attempt to make everyone complete. Kuroi told me about Miraju, a war general, an iron fist for peace, is what he called himself. One that makes deals, offers. Yet all end up dead under his feet, stepping stones to his goal. An ego so large it could overbear the universe that favored him. Although his goals aligned with Echo's, they weren't exact. Miraju just wanted everyone dead, not replaced. I assume that included himself. I'm surprised he didn't just kill himself, so he wouldn't have to deal with this universe's people, but maybe his ego was a brick wall that stopped him from doing so. Savior my arse. The absolute, like, roasting of Miraju is killing me. Kuroi admitted that they sort of agreed with his goals, to kill everyone to gain peace. It does create a temporary solution, but life would come back. Basic logic, I'm surprised Miraju didn't think of it. Kuroi told me about Cypher, a young man it seemed, one who was taken in by Echo after they killed everyone Cypher knew. The only reason he survived was because he offered assistance, brainwashed and tricked twice. Sure, with Echo he created friends, but still, and to be stupid twice. Miraju sounds really creepy from the recordings Kuroi showed me. How is that not setting off alarms? This man is smarter than me, and still fell for it. Well, was. Miraju killed him after half the nukes didn't fire, then vanished. At least Cypher is with his parents now, I suppose. Kuroi sounded sad? Yeah, sad when he was telling me this. Cypher was an idiot, in my opinion. The ghost felt sad for him, though. Maybe because the people on the planet had tricked him to believe he was abandoned, coming between a line of contact between him and Eclipse, a friend from Echo. I feel uncomfortable now. Kuroi told me about the librarians. They are a group of people, or faction, who documented the history of Solace. People could give them books to store and keep safe. This group of people is led by Comet. Kuroi said the leader had horns like they used to have. I wonder where their library is. Kuroi could go in and maybe read some of the books and tell me after. Or if I go myself. I don't know. Too risky. But I imagine there are loads of shelves and they are really tall. You would need to use ladders to reach the higher books, which would be covered in dust and cobwebs. And it'd be stuffy. In between hot and cold, but not in the irritating sense. And that it'd echo like a giant cave that would make the slightest noise sound like a monster. Kuroi told me about Oasis. A new group, apparently. Not a faction, just a couple people. I think Kuroi said about 3 or 4. One of them was a guard-like character with a big bushy tail and ears. Kuroi said they might have a connection to the red panda. I don't know what that is, never seen one before, but uniqueness is usually pretty. There's another person with a really deep voice that is definitely bad. It's creepy. Offers are too good to be true. Kuroi found a recording thing, that's how I know. They also don't have a face, or that it's hidden in their cloak hood. Then there's a fox person. I see foxes every now and then near my home, but they end up dying, though. They get stuck in the vines, but this is a half person. They have a bunch of shiny gold on them, and their eyes, too. I think that's cool, but how they got that much is suspicious. Kuroi said there was another person, but they didn't really get a proper look at them. They saw rabbit ears on them, though. I remember Kuroi saying they liked rabbits. They used to own a farm that had a lot of them roaming freely around at some point in their 800-something years of being alive. The group sounds okay. There will definitely be something going wrong when does it not, to be fair. Kuroi told me about the House of Ocular Enlightenment. Oh! Has anyone from the House of Ocular Enlightenment seen the backup Ho I want to see the stars meme? Because it fits. We need to make one that's backup House of Ocular Enlightenment. I want to see the stars. Longest name I have ever heard. The ghost said they also go by Ho, which is a little stupid, giving your fancy-sounding faction a nickname that is a garden tool. Not the worst thing to call yourself, I guess. According to Kuroi, they are based around protection and weaponry. Power brought to all their members, almost as if constantly preparing for war, for violence, which I respect. But they could be armed to start one themselves. The leader is a warden. The ghost tells me they are strong creatures who roam within darkness, violent if provoked. Another army general. The blind executioner. That isn't their real name, obviously, but it was the only name that Kuroi managed to catch when exploring the area the faction was being built. At the time, it was just spruce and black stone walls and a huge statue, hand-built and carved in stone. Kuroi admired it, but to me it's just a shiny target for attack, easy to destroy. However, this executioner could have a few tricks up their sleeves. Kuroi told me about the box-head person, the one who was sneaking around in treetops and getting inside my house. The ghost told me that they knew this person. How well did they know him, Kuroi didn't say. The Fisher is what Kuroi calls him. As this name suggests, the Fisher is a fisherman and a bit of an explorer, and when the ghost had met him first, he was a person who preferred his own company. I wonder what changed, if anything did. And it isn't a box on his head, it's a computer. I don't know how to explain what that is. The Fisher can see Kuroi too. I don't think Kuroi even had to do anything to influence that either. If they want to be seen, it takes a lot of energy in order for it to work. I think it hurts them. And it doesn't last that long either. But Kuroi had lied to me. The Fisher did come back, and he left stuff in my house. Kuroi suggested it was a present, but there was nothing in the chest with an explanation. I don't know why the Fisher did that. There was some shiny stuff in there, so he can't have it back now, if he left it there by accident. His fault for not being careful. I like the relic disc that was left. The last page with writing on it cannot be translated or read. The sentences written down are heavily scribbled out. The only words that we were able to translate were illegible were the words grinning and story. The book was returned to where it was recovered after this information was gathered. Alright. The Fisher. Made me think of, John Engler, but I don't think it's John Engler. Because John Engler does not have a computer for a head. Pack up Ho, I want to see the stars. Alright, we have The Tale of the Tree Souls. In the intolerable reaches of a frosted ocean lays a tree where all gather before their end, touched by all humans but not with their hands, a haven that comes after the worst despair. It is both the beginning and the end, yet never remembered by any in the land. This makes me think of the tree. But I think this is different. This is for Nyx's Mega Base. Why are there so many trees? Trees are cool. This was already read. Thank you. Then we have Waffle House alt account. Which one of you did this? Which one of you is Waffle House alt account? And why are we getting Waffle House lore? We got Marana's plan. This is a direct threat. Which one of you is Waffle House? Hold on, my mom is texting me. Okay. Your friend again! Whoopee! Marana's plan. Marana is magnificent. Marana saved without thinking twice. I owe my life to her. Marana tells me answers and leads me the... Whoa, what's with the underlined? M-O... and money? Don... Money done... AVE money done a wait, did someone else figure this out? No. Well, yes, but money done a yeah, money done ave me, what? Put together all underline, yeah. Alright, someone typed this L M-L-O N-E-L Y-D-O-N-T-L-E-A-V-E-M-E. You see it? What underlined letter? What am I missing? It translates to I'm very lonely, don't leave me, or I'm very lonely, please don't leave me. Oh, okay. I'm lonely, don't leave me. Thank you. Is that Marana? Or is that whoever wrote this? Continuing. Leads me the correct way every time I speak to her. That's why I devote the last day of the week to praying and giving her sacrifices. Usually it's small things like fish or oars. It is perfect, small, and perfect life. I couldn't ask for more, but lately Marana has been asking for more complicated stuff. She told me about her plan and that I play an important part in it. Sounds like a cult. Which made me very happy and I worked harder for her until she asked me for a sacrifice. Not a fish or an animal, a human sacrifice. I was stunned, but I didn't question it, because she is a goddess. She knows everything. So I did. I lured a villager to the river, then with my looks I made the villager get into the water and I drowned them. He kicked and tried to break free, but the villager didn't last long. I gave the body to Marana and she said she was proud. I felt horrible. I couldn't look at myself. Then Marana gave me a gift, a potion of some sort. She told me to drink it, so I did, and she sent me back. When I got back, I was hungry, so I fed my cat and myself fish, but it was gross. My cat Marak kept eating. The fish I ate must have been bad, so I went back to looking for more fish. While I was hunting, I saw a villager collect water nearby, and they looked delicious. I didn't know what happened or what I did, but I blinked and the villager was dead and I was eating them! I thought I would feel bad, but I didn't. I kept eating and eating and eating until only bones remained. I collected them and hid them in my chest, feeling that Rock, my only friend, would leave me. Oh! Ha! Yes! That's normal. Oh, they might have liked Grim. Oh my god. Okay, we have another video.
Is this the new bakery that's opened? I guess I can.
I don't know if you guys saw the TikTok I made. I totally creeped and looked through this door, and you guys were just hitting pots. I'm not sure what was going on.
Try it out. Huh, she seems like a little kid. Maybe I can get some free stuff. Hey. Hey. I want that.
Punching them.
Give me it now. I want it. Kid, give me it for free. I know the manager. Give it to me.
I know the manager.
Give it to me now or else.
Oh! Oh my god! Damn, I wish people in food service could do that to Karens. Bonk!
We have a beautiful grill to cook the fresh meat on. In here we sell deliciously fresh.
Huh? Huh?
Where am I?
Huh?
Wait, it's you? Let me go, or else I will. Wait, no, don't do this.
Why are there so many cannibals?
We can talk. We can just.
Oh my god! I advertised that butcher shop on TikTok. I told people to go there. I said, "Oh, look at how many nice restaurants there are." Oh my god! I promoted cannibalism. Oh no!
Please, no, please.
No! Throw back to Eris, let us see.
Animal meat. And here is our kitchen where we cook and prep the food. Don't forget to come down to the butcher shop.
CapCut! Why does somebody can't? No! We're not hiring! We're protesting this butcher shop! My god, the risk of being a Karen. Super react. I support women's rights. Oh my god. That's crazy. I'll let you come see where I live soon, only for the entertainment. The job market is not that bad. You do not need to work here. They're gonna eat you. You come in for a freaking, like, interview and they just eat you. Oh yeah, I love this. Also, someone pinged me in general. Yeah. Have you guys seen the new sticker? Hold on. The Angry Freya sticker? It's kind of funny. You only kill bad guys. Super react mute emoji. So this is... My OC just got into making dubstep. Okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. The dissonance. It's experimental. Okay. The 4/4 beat? Oh, double it?
This is a mother freaking bass drop.
It's kind of blorby, you know? This is like what I'm listening to when I'm in the mangrove swamp. At night. This is something frogs would make. You're so right. That was kind of fire. Freaky Zia, thanks for following. Hello. I'm good. Are you a bot? Freaky Zia. Keeping my eye on you. I thought it would sounded worse. Fair. You're not, okay. Good to know. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Lore Tuesday. It sounds like how it would feel to pick someone up and take them around. It sounds like shaken baby syndrome. It kind of does. Alright, Within the Rings. This is what CJ was saying. We have no idea what is going on, I think. A speck of light, that is all it is. Billions of them forming shapes. You would gaze up and find yourself focusing on a few, maybe even one. But that fascination is diminished, replaced by confusion. Why is that one growing brighter? Terror comes with such a realization, a realistic reaction. Once a thing holding beauty, now a spout for fear overflowing. Its color red or even blue, puncturing the atmosphere, shaking it. A course that shifts as if pushed to safety. Mountainous waves rippling earth, a deaf man believes it's raining. An asteroid is what it is, or what one believes. In truth lays a broken geode, a crystal with a heartbeat, bedded twice without knowledge. In the present, that crystal remains, yet a new heartbeat accompanied. A crystal? Is this the amethyst infection coming back? It's like the freaking flood! It's like the flood! No! One tainted, one tampered, yet some still hear the thumb, thumb, thumb of a star twice bedded. A star I know. Okay. Okay. I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared. Alright, Chapter 2, Recovery. Because of the trials I had to spend days in the hospital, I ended up meeting some interesting people. One of those people was Kronk. Kronk? My name Kronk. In the later years, he would help me test the durability of my tools. As you will hear, Kronk wasn't the brightest bulb in a warehouse, but he sure was the biggest. Hey, Bulb, what do you think of all the whomping the bigums? Kronk would yell loudly. What? What do you think about people fighting the big creatures? Ah! Me named Kronk. Kronk is what you would call an orc. They've been bred for thousands of years for combat. My species was at war with theirs at one point, but fighting us got old for them, and they ended up giving up. Seeing one of them here did surprise me, but I answered calmly as I was lying in bed next to his. I think it's needed sometimes, those beasts grow out of control. I saw how Kronk nodded to himself and chuckled. For some time we would have talked and made a deal that if he brings me the best parts of the beasts he slays them, I'll make him some of his favorite weapons. Kronk would laugh but agree. I still miss him and how he would tell his stories to the new hunters who thought they could take on everything. After a day or two, Kronk would be let out of the hospital, and Selena would come in with her family to see how I was doing. Has your family shown up yet? She asked, See me? No, but I think they're just setting up for my return, I explained. Selena simply shrugged, and nodded. We talked for hours after that. Her eyes always seemed to glow brighter than the lights around them. I told her I'm happy she got accepted into the hunting squads, and once I'm out of this hospital, I'll be happy to make their team's gear. When I finally got released from the hospital, my family took me on a trip around Bjorn. The city's massive protective walls rose miles high with a giant gate that suited it well. I saw how people celebrated and praising the amount of work it took to make those walls. Everything and everyone had their part to play, and they played it well. Children were happy, the adults were busy. Ulta had put a lot of work into this city to get it this way, and everyone was grateful. Chapter 3, The Start of the Fall. I was around 20. I had worked and learned 7 hard years of my life. A war had started. The god of light, Rain, had decided that he should rule over the rest of the gods and lead this planet to a new golden era. 15 other gods joined him. Ryling, the god of war, decided to talk to Rain to end this conflict, but he was killed, leaving his husband Karko, the god of love, in shambles. Karko founded the Deepfall to fight against Rain. Ulta constantly supplied Deepfall weapons. Years ago, the stories chosen would have delivered the news, but they have all disappeared. So instead, we get the news from merchants now. During this time, I was going to get engaged to Selena, but nonetheless, this never happened. Pull the lever, Gronk. Not my lore helpers mixing each other up in chat. Oh my god. It's okay. I kept forgetting who CJ was from the Inkadot username so many times. What are you wearing? I asked, looking at the black crown on her head. This was definitely not something made by me, unlike her armor. Just something to help me feel more connected to my new god, she responded to me. The way she responded to me surprised me. New god? Had she given up on the Huntress? I fumbled with my mother's ring I had in my pocket. Oh, this is gonna be sad, isn't it? This is gonna be sad. Oh. This clearly wasn't the right time to give it to her. Who is this new god, I might ask? I asked, hoping she'll answer me, while I sharpened her halberd. None of your concern, Havoc, and don't worry about who I worship now. She tried to reassure me. We used to talk about everything together, hopes, dreams, and annoying neighbors. Why is she keeping this from me? I returned her halberd, and she dropped off supplies at my smithing area. However, something stood out. A singular gold coin with a silver sun on it. This wasn't the currency of Ulta, instead of someone else. I knew something was wrong, but I decided not to say anything at the time. I thought Selena had everything handled, and this will all wash over soon. I was a fool. I was going to hand her my mother's ring, but she quickly packed her things and said, "Nice meeting you again, Havoc, but I'm really busy. I need to get going." Another lie. Blacksmiths knew the hunter's schedule so that they can always be at service when they return. Selena wasn't going on another hunt for days. I watched how she gracefully avoided everyone and walked out the door. The mood for this day died, like the lifeless ring in the bottom of my pocket. Oh, this is so sad! No! That last sentence kills me in the sad way! Oh! That's so sad. I shed a single tear. I'm gonna do crying. Crying. Okay. Last two. Lately, I've been thinking about Lass. I was wondering what they're doing and why they ran into the forest. Oh, another underlined thing. So I decided to go and see if I could spot them again. I swam to the spot I saw them last time. I looked around, but I didn't see them. I looked where they ran last time and saw there was no way up there except land. So I went out of the water and creeped into the forest until I saw a red tree. It stuck out like a sore thumb in the forest of white trees. I tried to take a closer look until I saw them crawl out, so I ran behind some trees. I was quiet, so there's no way they saw me, but they looked at the tree I was hiding behind. How? When they were taking something out of their inventory, I sneaked to another tree. When they looked back up, they continued to look at the tree I was hiding behind until they turned their head towards the tree I snuck to. I don't know how they did that. Is someone telling them where I'm hiding? But there isn't anyone near us. I quietly ran back into the water, and a few minutes later they peeked out of the forest to the water. I was deep enough that they couldn't see me, but they kept looking in my direction. I kept staring back until my hunger hit me again, and I didn't want to hurt Lass, so I swam away. I don't know how they saw me. Is it their power? Some potion? But they're keeping me busy with my other thoughts, so I guess I'll keep coming back. Maybe I should bring a gift? Is it friend? Friend? Friend question mark. I want them to be friends. That's cute. The tree, it still lingers. The seed planted by her. They were going to die anyways, she claimed. She could do nothing. Then I can do nothing. Nothing but be a decide. One day, goddess, it is a promise. Oh, Dayside. Deus? Oh, Deicide is the killing or killing. I was like, decide? Deicide. That makes sense. Interesting. Lots of trees going on. Loomis. Boo. Boo womp. Wait, do I have my soundboard working? I don't think so. Boo womp. So it's settled. Onyx has been trying to figure out a way to bring Angel back. We don't want that. At least, I don't. Thankfully, the tree has infected Onyx. He won't be able to find out what the antidote is, and if he does, I'll just get rid of him myself. Minnie, my new follower, listens well. They follow my rules, they listen to my words. They're even making me a shrine. How lucky I am. Kaina knows too much, and if she keeps sending these documents to the people of Solace, I'll have to get rid of her as well. Nothing more for now. XOXO, Loomis! Boo! I wish Season 5 Lore Tuesday channel still existed, because I keep needing to look back at stuff. It does exist! It's just down in the hidden channels. I think. Yeah, Lore Tuesday Season 5. Well, you can't see it on the stream, but I can make it. Let me make it. Let's see. Category. I think it's just admins that can see it. Let me make senior staff. No, they can view. You should be able to look down there. You don't have access to it? Hold on, hold on. Senior staff view. Alright, you can see now. It's at the very, very bottom. Monophobia. Scared of people with mono? Pastel pink petals whisked throughout the tense air. At your feet rested a bud, bundled tightly together. It was different from the other flora harnessed in the garden, having an almost metallic shine to it. Curiosity hungered within, your fingertips slowly uncurling to feed it with touch. As you felt your skin make contact with the leaves, you felt a tingling sensation pulsating throughout your arm. It began unfolding, maroon petals tearing through the air, swiveling as it began ascending. It reached eye level, and audio playing out from it, heavy crackling, before it silenced down. Begin audio file, the voice of a woman spoke. Muddled, hard to pinpoint who it could have come from. Another voice pierced your ears. Now recording. Sorry, I read that in an annoying voice. Now recording. Start cognition test. Document abnormalities. Whirring from the audio much louder than the flower. It was silent, the odd voice rising once more. Vitals show signs of stress. Okay, anything else? Grim rose at critical levels. Repair immediately. A groan escaped from the woman. Sickening crunches could be heard, along with liquid splashing against rocks. Curses under her breath were barely recognized before she cleared her throat. Scan immediate area. Is it a suitable host? Negative. Calculating. The audio began to fizzle out. With a light tap of your palm, it began working once more. Signs of stress have grown significantly. 20% increased cortisol levels. I get it. Began de-stress test. Beginning. Now spell tulip. T-U-L-I-P. Correct. Now spell disease. D-I-S-E-A-S-E. Correct. Now spell What? Wrong. Try again. Now spell. No. Or now. No. Whatever. It's probably the beginning of now, not no. The audio grew more and more distorted, a crashing noise resonating with the wind rising from the flower. Static grew violent, light sobbing barely being recognizable. The metallic blossom recoiled, descending back into its hole. How odd. It would be best for you to leave now. That's so ominous. Okay. You know this song? Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't know this was, because like, I was like, I'm pretty sure that Grim didn't post this. My fingers are a bit double jointed, so they tend to pop every now and again. Oh. We have, from Glitch Vessel of Sleep, the following is a transcript of Froggy, the House of Ocular Enlightenment Public Relations Manager, finding out the true intentions of the house. Events may be embellished or inaccurate. Oh. Part 1. Froggy. I'm sorry, world domination? But why? It's, well, world domination. That's not good by any means. It's just not. We can't do that. You watch your tongue when speaking to us. You mange. We are above you, as are our goals. You watch your tongue, Ito. We told her for a reason. As the one in control of our public relations, it stands to reason she should know. I'm sorry, but you have to realize how, well, not great how the situation is. We need to be peaceful, and it's not exactly peaceful if we take over the world. That's almost the opposite. I mean, if we want to be friendly, we'd have to focus on peace and equality with everyone. Then the world could still be peaceful, without us trying to rule over it and all that. Hands over Ito's mouth. It is the house's right to rule over this planet. It was a gift to us from our god Divinitas, a gift to me, and believe me, it will be the best outcome for this world if it comes to fruition. Without us in charge, this planet will always be at war between cults and corporations. We are the cleansers of this world. But why can't we help everyone without overtaking this world? This world is beautiful, full of life for everyone. I understand not wanting war because I also don't want that, but I can't imagine taking over this world because of that. Why can't we just get everyone together and make some sort of agreement of peace between all of us? If this world is a gift to you, you should use it to make world peace instead of making it your own. Froggy is cooking. I have to approve the word hoe in my chat. That's kind of funny. The hoes have a PR team? Exactly. Huh? The Keepers of Solace don't even have a PR team. We have HR, but not PR. Oh? Is this more Gatsby lore I smell?
My lord, I bring news about the mission of Bjorn. It was a critical success. Over 3 billion have fallen. However,
3 billion.
There is one thing that went astray. The Hammer of Forges was not upon the wreckage. I believe there's at least one survivor who made it out unscathed.
One survivor. One measly person managed to invade my army. My army, the strongest army on this planet, could not even kill everybody in a walled city and achieve greatness beyond potential. I do not
The breath of agony and despair.
care if it takes 500 years. You will find the Hammer of Forges, and whoever's holding it is either converted to our side or dead. Am I made clear?
My lord, I bring...
Interesting. Okay. I'm guessing that has to do with the previous thing. Oh, more conversation. Ripping Okal's hands away. You seriously can't be this naive. Not everyone will get along with your stupid peace ideas. Control of this pitiful world is the only solution, and you will get that through your thick skull. Oop, gotta turn the music in. Or you will fall with the rest of them. Ito, leave the room now. Ito marches off defiantly, slamming the door behind him. Ignore him. He misunderstands our goals. It's best if this kind of conversation excludes him. It was my decision to make you our PR manager because people trust you, and we believe and we believe we can trust you with this. Our plans, my plans for this world are altruistic. I only want the best, what Divinitas has planned. If this is for the best, I can't do this. I'm not sure I can do this. If this is for what's best for the world, it doesn't even seem like the best. I'm sorry, Okal. Froggy looks down and turns to the door to start to leave with a sigh and a solemn look. Okal sets a hand on Froggy's shoulder. You have to realize, Froggy, this is the most effective path to peace on this world. I'm simply making good on a promise. Froggy turns around and hesitates before answering back. You're sure this will end in peace? I want to make sure this ends in peace for everyone. I'm sure, Froggy. This is the most peaceful course of action. Okay, I'll stay. It might be harder to get the other leaders on our side, but if it's for better purpose, if it's for peace, then I think we can do it. She gives a big and warm smile and nods to Okal. Ah, more Waffle House lore. What's with this Waffle House lore? I'm scared. There's a Waffle House in the end. This is the Waffle House in the end. They're overtaking the server. Forget the hose. Waffle House is taking the Waffle Hose. The Waffle Hose. That's what it is. They're working together. I figured it out. An animation? No way. No way. Blood. If people don't like blood, look away. If this isn't like an actual animation, I'm gonna scream. That's so cool. I keep having to approve the word hose. Here we go. My god, it is an animation.
What day is it now? I haven't been keeping track, as I usually do. Their words, mostly noises, commands I have been used to for years now. I'm miles from where you are. Makes me wonder if you can still feel my presence. The heart I gave, in return you got a life, and I got a death. With a dandelion to replace what once was there, now I feel nothing. Dr. Mia, I still remember the name of the scientist who tore me apart. And I remember the days, burned into my mind and body. They still didn't understand how I worked. Neither did I. I know now I never will understand, but neither will they. I made sure of that long ago. I can't tell if it's because I'm so far, or haven't had a heart for a while now, but my empathy has been running thin, as well as my sanity, it seems. The tools and weapons, they speak to me, as if they also want to feel the thrill of battle again. It drives me mad. The one thing to keep me going is Dandy, my beloved wolf. The one companion that wretched god let me keep throughout every world. I also have my wings back. Iridescent they may be, only shining in the sunset or starlight. But it's good. Gives me an advantage. No one would be able to see me until it's too late. I know Una said I was here to observe, but I've been itching for a fight. Thankfully, me and Fallen's training sessions come in handy, though I don't know how long that'll last. Plus, Fallen's been off doing his own thing most of the time. It's up to me to transfer our stuff from camp to our new home. I will start observing soon, once the invisibility potions, along with speed, are done brewing. I have already made strength potions. It would be a waste not to. I know I should relax. No one can get me here, they said. But I still feel fear. Or is it anticipation? Or both? For something that I cannot see, but sense with every fiber of my being something is wrong, and soon I will know.
That was peak. That was incredible. I don't think anyone, like, people made edits. I've seen some, like, small animations, whatever. This... How did you make it in such a short amount of time? That's my question. Yeah. I'm eating this. Chomp chomp. This is... I don't even know what to react with. Extreme Schlammen. That was so cool. If you ever want to, like, animation commission sometime I can whip something up. Yeah. 10 out of 10. 11 out of 10. Alright, let's continue on. That water spirit is getting comfortable. Persistent. She had come by a second time, scared Kron. They thought it was the Fisher again. She hid. I pointed her out twice. She was not aware of me. It's Kron? I forget. That is good in a way. After she went back into the water, I followed. Near spawn in a swamp. She lives there. There is a tunnel there, too. I did not go inside, though. It was not something I want to risk. Not yet, anyway. I will keep an eye on her, and whatever plan this Marana god has that involves Kron. So this is the ghost? I don't remember who's speaking here. Oh, yeah, the stinking thermonuclear power plant. It's over. We're blowing up. GG, everyone. We should not have nukes. Alright, we have another video. Oh! Another animation? Oh! Emotional modulator online. I am alive. I am alive. Okay. Dude, this is like some of my favorite lore. The stinking whatever the name is. Yeah, this is a fantastic Lore Tuesday. We are eating well. Speaking of eating well, we got cat lore. Well, Eleanor lore. We got cats writing. Eleanor lore. Ella lore. Here we go. Settle in, everyone. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. There we go. Now you can see it right. July 2497, Eleanor Keener. Time had lost almost all meaning during my years in space. Days turned into weeks in the blink of an eye. Day and night meant nothing. Despite that, there was still an unexplainable draw to the late nights and early mornings. The lack of people was comforting and made it easier to go about my business. Such was the case this morning, going to see the captain in the early hours. Given what I knew of the captain, he'd be awake at the crack of dawn. Plus, a walk this early didn't sound half bad. I grabbed a bag from the counter and stepped out into the little clearing where my ship had landed only a couple days ago. The forest was silent, save for the chirping of birds high above, but they didn't seem bothered by my intrusion into the early morning stillness. The walk towards Marcella's cabin was similarly quiet. The stillness invited thoughts to come and dance across my mind, creating a rather interesting back and forth. The planet was a lot calmer than I had expected. The variety of people, for one. Quick scans had been done from orbit, and much to my surprise, not everyone was human. There was an amalgamation of different species, including residing on Solace, humans, Anathi, bipedal fish, I wasn't entirely sure how that one worked, and even some weavekin. The last one stung with the memory of Rixavex, but their continued existence brought some hope that there would be more like him. Then my thoughts wandered to the captain. He had seemed different, not in a bad way either. A little tired, yes, but at this point that's to be assumed given everything he told me. There was something I couldn't put my finger on. It flitted across my mind in moments of clarity, but it didn't make any sense. His interactions with Freya during Amelia's funeral were telling. They were closer than I initially expected. It didn't surprise me necessarily. We had been the first to encounter Freya since the Great Anomaly, so one would surmise that they would be close, if nothing else. It wasn't their closeness which was confusing. It was the way that Freya acted. She seemed not to understand what was going on, at least not fully. Such was the reason for this visit. If anyone were to know more about Freya, it would be the captain. Soon enough, I was at the small clearing where his cabin stood. The windows were still dark and the sun had yet to rise. Waiting on his porch was an option again, but I didn't want to scare the living daylights out of him 2 days in a week of my return. No, I'd certainly scare him later, but for now it would be polite to wait until he was at least awake before making myself known. I made my way into the garden behind the house, deciding to take a closer look around. There hadn't been a lot of time to explore the last time I was here. While walking around the small hill, I began taking in the surroundings. A small shed, pond, several small beds of assorted flowers. A large tree stood as the centerpiece, with a small stone bench sitting underneath. I could understand why he'd put his house here. It was a place of calm, likely a place for reflection, remembrance. All of the lanterns had sat here. Each one had its own home, a spiritual resting place for bodies that could never be recovered. Absent-mindedly, I had wandered my way over to the lake. A small river fed into it, and fish could be seen in the dim light, swimming just under the surface. Green and red scales rippled across the surface as I approached the edge, as if reacting to my presence. The captain likely fed them, given their calmness around humans. Dipping my hand into the water only confirmed my suspicion as one of the smaller fish swam up to my hand and nipped at my fingertips. Slowly, I withdrew my hand from the water so as not to spook the fish. The water was their home, after all, and I began to walk back towards the center of the garden. As the garden slowly grew around me... Did the music just stop? Oh. Sorry, it just sounded like it suddenly stopped. As the garden slowly grew around me, the realization struck. For the first time in what felt like my entire life, I was calm, surrounded by the soft calls of birds, the sweet smell of mint, and the lazy light of the rising sun. The sun started to peek over the treetops as I made my way back beneath the hulking oak tree, finding the small stone bench and taking a seat to wait for the captain to wake. My lighter appeared in my hand after a short while. My hands seemingly moved on their own, igniting and extinguishing the flame in an irregular pattern. My mind wandered back to the feeling of calm I had, the stillness it had brought. The voices which normally whispered in moments of silence quieted for the first time in almost 34 years. I still remember the days sitting on the floor of the dorms in Tacoma, eyes fixed on my mother's unit patch, numerous theories, thoughts, worries, confusion zipping through my head. Has it really been that long? Keener! Do you make it your personal mission to scare me? The captain's voice rang through the silence, shattering my thoughts. He stood on the steps off the back door, already fully dressed for the day by the looks of it, a mug of something steaming in his hand. Come inside before you give me a damn heart attack, he shouted once more before stepping inside out of view. I stood from the stone bench, clicking the lighter closed for a final time, and started walking towards the back door. I stopped a few feet from the door. The sounds of a plasma stove could be heard inside. Took a deep breath, and stepped through. The room beyond was a surprise. To be fair, I hadn't known the man long, but part of me hadn't expected this. A small 2-room downstairs area, accompanied by a staircase to upstairs. The decorations were rather normal. Plants along the windowsill, a picture of Earth hanging on the wall. A UE flag lay draped over a chair. A cabinet in the next room caught my eye. The glint of metals and the muted colors of the navy patch he had worn sat inside the rectangle of glass the glint of metal... Oh my gosh. The glint of metals and the muted colors of the navy patch he had worn sat inside the rectangle of glass and ornate wood. Got it. The smell of eggs wafted from the stove where he stood hunched over a pan, a spatula scraping softly against the surface. Can I offer you breakfast this time, or is there another body? Oh my god. He chuckled at his own joke. Anyone else would have called it morbid. Me, I'd call it familiar. No body this time, just some questions. And yes, please, breakfast would be nice. I replied with a smile. The man still had a sense of humor somewhere in him. Hope you liked your eggs fried, he said bluntly. In all honesty, I'd take anything. Years of rations had nearly sent me down a route I'd rather never normally consider. Please have a seat, he smiled softly as a plate of 2 fried eggs was placed at each spot at the table. I did so and took a tentative bite out of the eggs. Not half bad, a little burnt. Better than MREs, and I knew better than to complain when it came to food. We sat in silence, enjoying the simple meal he had prepared in the presence of each other. I couldn't read the captain's mind, but I could wager that having another of his crew alive was at least a pleasant surprise. The meal soon ends, plates are cleared, cleaned, and left to dry. So what was so important that you had to scare the living daylights out of me? He brought the question through the silence. First, apologies for that, I said, pulling a bottle of Silverleaf brandy from the bag I'd grabbed from my ship. I'll accept that apology, he replied with a laugh, taking the bottle and placing it on the counter. I came to talk about Freya. Immediately his demeanor shifted. The light returned to his eyes. He smiled, genuinely. I wanted to ask, what is she? The question was harsh, without a doubt, but direct questions were my style, and I needed answers. Simple answer. I don't know if it's a simple answer. A conscious being of pure energy, power the likes of which we've never seen. His eyes skimmed the floor as if the floorboards hold back the secrets of the universe before making direct eye contact. Long answer, something which we previously thought impossible. They call themselves Lumerin. He pushed himself away from the counter and began pacing around the kitchen. They're beings of pure energy, as I said before. I don't know how they have consciousness, so don't bother asking. He continued pacing, plucking a pen from the counter and twiddling it between his fingers. They can create matter out of empty space. In theory, she could travel anywhere in the universe in the blink of an eye. He stopped in the center of the living room and tapped his foot a couple times before continuing. I think the long answer might be simpler than the simple answer. They are not bound by the conventional laws of physics. She could look into the past or the future if she so wished. He started pacing once more. It was obvious that he had done extensive research into Freya. Question, how old is she? Rude question, yes, but a lady is allowed to know things. About as old as the universe itself. He stopped in the middle of the living room, taking a deep breath and setting himself on the couch. So why does she act like that? Ugh. His answer had ruled out my initial theory as she was young, unaware of the world around her. Like what? He responded with a confused look. He couldn't see what I did. The way she acted when I told her Reed was dead. The way that she's constantly happy no matter the clouds overhead. I had moved into the living room, cornering the question that I needed answered. Something wasn't right with Freya. I wanted to know what. Damn. She hasn't seen death like we have, Keener. His expression grew sorrowful. It was a soft spot, likely bringing up old memories that he'd rather forget. Shit, what I wouldn't give for that. It was the truth after everything. Silence was a precious commodity. I'd share a drink to that, but it's too early, even for me, he responded with a soft chuckle. Sorry again for intruding on your space, Captain. I'll be out of your hair now, I said, and almost made it halfway through the door before he spoke. Hey, Keener, knock next time, he chuckled with a wry smile, pulling himself off the couch and making himself busy once more. Making my way back towards the ship with my newfound knowledge was an interesting time. The voices returned in full force, buzzing to life with new information to process. Through all of it, I knew one thing for certain. I'd have to go see Freya myself to get what I wanted. As if on cue, there she was, just wandering through the tree line near my ship. A small brown box clutched in her hands. Knowing her, likely not malicious. Didn't mean I couldn't get her back for the first day. Every bit of my training and experience returned as I approached her through the tree line. If I could sneak up on what some would consider a god, that would be a story to tell for years to come. Soon I was standing not a half a meter from her and could pick out the minute details in her clothing. The individual fibers on her shirt, the intricate swirls embroidered into her cloak, even the crevices within each flower placed in her hair. Those better not be grasshoppers, I spoke, breaking the silence, and nearly causing her to jump out of her skin by the looks of it. She righted herself before speaking. Oh, hi, Eleanor. This? She gestured to the box in her hands. No, using bugs for pranks is probably not a good idea. Not right away, at least. She almost whispered the last part. No shit, Sherlock. At least you have foresight, I chuckled to myself. She wasn't malicious, at the least. Who's Sherlock? She replied softly, looking rather confused. Sherlock? Sherlock Holmes, the classic literature and film detective? My further question was only met by a blank stare from Freya, seemingly unaware of what I was referencing. Damn, has Marcello not shown you Sherlock? We gotta remedy that. Again, a 1,000-yard stare from Freya that seemed like it could pierce stone if she wanted to. He hasn't really shown me any human media, she finally replied, digging her heel into the dirt. Sourpuss. He probably doesn't read anything but Navy manuscripts, I spat, silently cursing the captain before looking back up at Freya. I'm almost certain the Arcturus has a library of media that we could pull from. Almost immediately, her eyes lit up in what I could only assume was excitement. Would you show me some of your favorites? She was practically vibrating with energy now. I don't see why not, I replied with a smile. Before I could even react, she was off like a rocket, running back towards Marcello's house, probably to talk the ear off the poor man. Not that it wasn't deserved. With Freya gone like the wind, I made my way back into the ship before collapsing into the pilot's chair. Freya was an interesting character. Not at all malicious, quite the opposite. Almost carefree to an extreme. There would be a lot to learn about her, that'd be for certain, and the only way was to get to know her. It might be nice to have a friend since Amelia died. Ah, my heart. Like Stay-On's movie stash. True. Although, I don't want to know what movies Stay-On Blight watched. Probably would be weird. Alright. This is Freya's movie reviews. Sherlock Holmes. Why did Marcella never show me what movies were before? That was amazing. I still don't think I understand what Eleanor meant by no shit Sherlock, but I definitely know that I want to watch more of these. There was so much fighting and everyone was wearing weird clothes. I wonder if that's what it's really like back on Earth. If that's the case, it's no wonder Marcello decided to stay on Solace. I'm coming back to Eleanor's tomorrow to watch Star Wars. Star Wars! Turns out it was a bunch of movies, not just one. I think Eleanor slept through most of them, but I was glued to the screen the entire time. I didn't hear it mentioned, but I'm assuming this is about the Soulpack Navy. I asked Marcello afterwards if he knew Luke Skywalker, and he said, yeah, I know who that is. Like that isn't the coolest thing ever? I can't believe he never told me about that. I also didn't know that some humans could move things around like Flumarin. I guess Eleanor and Marcello don't have that power. On another note, I'm glad I'm getting to know Eleanor a bit more. She and Marcello are very different in a lot of ways, and it gives me a better picture of what human culture is like. I think we finally moved past the awkward first impression of her pulling a gun on me. When does Freya get to watch the B-movie? Someone ping Kath is in here. B-movie. That's another one. The Princess Bride. This is a classic. If I could cry, I probably would have multiple times during this movie. It was beautiful. This is such dramatic music for this. Hold on. Much better. I think I'm finally understanding human culture surrounding romance, and I wonder if any of this would work on Marcello. I mentioned it to Eleanor and she just said, maybe, maybe not, it's worth a shot. Update. Marcello didn't get the hint. F. Infinity War. Eleanor forgot to mention that movies are fake, to me, until now. I thought this movie was showing what happened during the Great Anomaly on Earth. I was devastated. Turns out, movies are all made up. No wonder they show so many people dying in these things without a second thought. Anyway, Eleanor said we could keep watching this series of movies for months if I wanted to. Apparently they made close to 300 movies and even more shows. I told her for now I wanted to get the full scope of humanity, so we could revisit these later. The Titanic. Eleanor forgot to tell me something again! Oh, Freya. You sweet summer child. B-movie is next. I'll write that down. I'll do more movie reviews. Hold on. Okay, so B-movie. What was the other one? Saw or Scream? She'd probably freak out at any horror movie. Old audio logs. Okay. Oh, it's the freaking robot from the What If server. These audio logs started appearing on radio frequencies ever since the start of the deconstruction of the Arcturus ship. Wait, how would that happen if that was a completely different timeline? The What If server was a different timeline. They never went on the mission. What if server crew try not to bring their character back? Challenge impossible. Hank, begin audio log 33. It's been some time since I first joined the crew. I think I'm doing a good job helping out even though one of my inventions put one of them through the ceiling. I still have to remind myself not to go into maintenance vents ever since the rat incident. Now what I'm working on currently, a little something to help Keener on and their railgun project. I will not put it on their railgun, that they would be absolutely beat the tar out of me. Anyways, Alma's cooking something good in the kitchen. This is Stay on Blight signing off for now. This is sad. Hank, begin audio log 1. Audio log 1? It took me a while to figure out all the components needed for my own personal robot. I saw how James was, and I decided to have my own personal companion. I'm not too good with people. Machines tend to be understanding, in my opinion. I'm still figuring out the layout of... This should probably go in the What If server. Unless you're somehow, like, connecting it to the main SMP, you could put these in the What If server. I'm still figuring out the layout of the ship, because canonically, unless you want to discuss, like, retconning stuff, Stay on Blight was killed by the Great Anomaly. Eleanor was retconned, though, so if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. I may need to get away, I may need a way to get past the medical area without seeing it. My hands shake every time I pass by, I don't know why. I don't want them to seem erratic I don't want to seem erratic to the other crew, so I'll do my best to hide it when I pass by or talk to them. I'm creating more machines to help them out. Maybe Amelia would like a grapple hook attachment. This is Stay on Blight signing off. Hank, begin audio log 55. I think I'm losing my mind. One of my inventions sent electrical current to my neural plug-in, and now I'm seeing double. My memories, multiple memories, I can't explain it. Like 2 different lives. One is, well, should be my current life, but the other is worse. I think there are people coming for me, but I don't know for sure. I should go down to the docks. Maybe they can sort this out. This is Stay on Blight signing off. Hank, begin audio log 56. I've decided not to tell the doctors. I think I managed to get this all under control. I just need to continue my routine until the end of the mission. Hopefully they won't notice the subtle differences. I don't trust any shadow on the ship. Stay on Blight signing off. The next audio log was estimated to be 5 minutes before the Great Anomaly. So, like I said, Bagel, the Great Anomaly happened like 1 month into the, like, just 1 month into, like, they didn't even get to do any mission yet. So, unless he made Hank, like, within the first month, which could be possible, this wouldn't be able to happen. Hank, begin audio log 60. I think there are people other than the crew on this ship. I just can't prove it. I tried to talk to Keener about it, but she still thinks I've been watching too many horror movies. She may be right. I do have a lot of physical copies of them, but still, what is to believe to be metal falling and struggling could be heard. Package ready, prepare for transport. The final message appears to be transmitting somewhere in space near the Deslant sector. It played through many speakers of Solace at 1:25 a.m. Help, 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 and repeated until 3 a.m. No, it didn't. It happened like... We have it somewhere in one of the things, but yeah, it happened like a month in, like fairly early. They didn't get to actually do anything. Plus, the What If server... So the original mission of the Arcturus was not the What If mission. The Solace timeline... So there's 3 timelines. There's Solace, What If, and Soul Pact timelines. So the Soul Pact, I actually have this written out somewhere, but Soul Pact and Solace have the same mission, which is different from What If. The What If timeline is the only one that had the, what's it called? The Ion Storm go through. The other 2 went on their regular mission. But the What If server, the What If timeline, they went to go help some Rim worlds, and important, like, which we didn't get to do the important military mission, but, I did make a diagram. But I can't show it on stream because it does have some spoilers. What if Mirage didn't watch the PU movie? We were gonna do the next season of What If was going to be about Mirage, but because Eris is gone, I decided to cancel that. I'll come up with something else, or we can finish the What If one. But yeah, I hope that helps. The Soul Pact one, they do the original mission. It is not the same crew as the other two. The What If and Solace timelines, same crew, different missions. Solace one, they are gone, obviously, a month into their original mission. Anyway. Still interesting. Oh, I'm in lore sheets. What in the world is this? This Morse code? Oh my god, it's Morse code, isn't it? No, it's not Morse code. There's like some... No, this is like something under the water. It looks scary. Okay. A page from the Angler's Journal. Arrow 6, Day 10. I'm writing this in my journal as I believe something isn't right. While moving my belongings from my raft to my new residence inland, I noticed the cork board I had been putting together about the Echo Group was tampered with. Notes were either missing or placed slightly off from where they were originally placed. After inspecting the room further, I came to the conclusion that someone was gathering information in a manic state. I am unsure if it was someone new to Solace or someone dangerous. I will continue to investigate and look for whoever did this. The only thing I have to go on is a footprint left behind. Ooh. Hello, Angel. This is Angel Lore, not Onyx. Okay. Alfie laid against Angel's dead body. He was cold, his lips were blue, his eyes once energetic and happy, now lifeless. His skin was pale. No breathing, no heartbeat, no signs of life. Ghost Angel had appeared around an hour after the sickness of IDU-T, or Jeremy, took his life in cold blood. Alfie was quiet, tears spilling from his eyes. Angel was gone. There was no bringing him back. Everyone was blissfully unaware, except for Alfie and Susu, whose ghost had been lingering for a while. This decision of Angel's to go to the tree, it was rash. He left early in the morning to go sit by that tree, because he knew he would die from being there even half an hour. He wanted to be with his sister. Somewhere, there was a letter written by Angel. The location was unknown, and it was never found. The last person he spoke to was Alfie, which meant those were his final words. Brother, I love you. Those were the last words ever heard from Angel, and they were meant for Alfie and Alfie alone. That's so sad. Wait. There were instructions. Scroll down to newest content. Okay. Log 2. So, some not good things happened. Aside from continuing to be careful when I'm out, I should probably avoid messing with my code for the time being. I'm not exactly sure how long it has been since the forced shutdown. But given the numerous structures that now exist around my base, I'm willing to say it's been a bit. I've been working on an overhaul of my base since Awakening, adding support beams and making the place much more organized. Completed the storage room. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I just need to label everything I can, but I can do that later. Gotta say, I kind of feel like an MME unit sometimes, especially with the amount of time I apparently spend underground. Did find a new place to mine resources from, however it's full with very interesting plant life. I'll need to collect some to study. For now, I'll keep expanding the base. We'll need to decide what to make the next rooms, but first I'll need to gather more resources. Pondo. Oh my gosh, so much Loomis stuff. Okay, don't read them until done reading the letter. Okay. The sunset. It reminds me of how Alfie and I would watch the sunset together many months ago. It looks like it did when we watched it last time. I wish we could watch the sunset together one more time, but Alfie is dead, and he won't come back. I wish he came back, but as a ghost like I did. He was my big brother in a way. He taught me stuff that I didn't think would be useful. He took me to the doctor people when I needed medical help. He stood with me and didn't leave my side even when I asked. I miss him. Though I have the company of Onyx, who reminds me of myself a bit too much, it still doesn't compare to who Alfie was to me. He was my best friend. I know he won't ever see this letter, but I would like to know that it's there for him for someday. I deeply miss him. I feel horrible for letting myself die on him. Maybe if I didn't, he wouldn't have died. I don't know. Go to the Lorem after reading the photos linked to this message. Okay. Hello, Alfie. Oh, I gotta join VC. Oh no. Alfie, you're spouting nonsense again, and I thought we were friends. Angel? I didn't kill him. Believe me? Amazing. Wonderful. Look at yourself. Thanks, CJ, that's so kind. Loomis, look at yourself. Look in the mirror before calling me weird. Ah, amazing. A shrine for me? I use Angel's Minecraft again. You say obligation, but you forget that Angel and Susu served under me for weeks on their own will. Before they died, that is. I say it's good they died, anyways. I didn't even try to save them. I didn't want to. They were always going to die anyways. So you're agreeing with me. You said couldn't. And you claim to love them. What a great grandma you are. As in, I wanted to, but I wasn't able to. I do love them, you see. I just wanted the best for my grandchildren. Death isn't always best, Loomis. Grandmother does not know best, if you catch my allusion. They were already dying. There was no saving them. Sure, if that helps you sleep at night. Oh, and you're mentioning him, well, I should probably read up. Eurillo. You'll summon him, careful. Frozen character IRL at all times. Oh, and you're mentioning him too. He wouldn't be able to save the two either. The alien siblings, Angel and Susu, died like 6-ish times at this point, and Loomis didn't save them. They were going to die, so they didn't need saving. I brought them back to life about twice. You also lied about who you were at the beginning, so great start. I don't seem to recall that. I feel that you're speaking nonsense. Huh, I see where the goldfish part of Angel comes from. And then we have more. Continuing, okay. You say womp womp. It is still very possible to bring... The Loomis stuff and Eurillo and everything is so funny to me because it's so Gen Alpha. Or Gen Z. I don't know how an old Gen Alpha is. I'm an old Gen Z. So, this is young Gen Z. I love my Season 6 character, but my hyperfixation is making it so hard to do lore. At this point, I might go with my backup plan of making it just FNAF themed. No! We already have Parkour Civilization, which already I was like, oh, no, it's not canon. If you do something FNAF, like, if you can't, we don't bring in copyrighted things in here. You can do it. I believe in you. Ask the other lore helpers. Ask me. You have it written down already. But it's not yours! As the ghosts are still around, or I could get rid of the ghosts. Do not do that, leave them be. Leave them be? My Alfie, you seem to be so stupid right now. I could do anything to them. It was my choice to let them stay as ghosts after all. Leave them be, Loomis. Eurillo could always bring them back. Sure he could, but it's just as easy to get rid of them as it is to bring them back. They will die again, just leave them be in peace. Death is peace? Alfie is correct for once. They could stay around as ghosts, or they could be gone completely. For them, yes, they can rest somewhat. They do not need to be dragged into wars or get sick or get controlled anymore. Not 5 Nights at Freya's. 3 more things out of the work log. Oh no. What happened now? Could you take power off of ghosts? Have use while being dead? Thought I was finished? I was. It was small. Might I ask who my follower is? I'm quite curious, as I never caught the name. Ministrock. Amazing! When you finish my shrine, please let me know. Oh no, we got a Loomis enjoyer? We have a Loomis, glazer? You don't seem very happy to see me, Alfie. You can choose. I personally don't mind what my followers call me. Boo! Is this more? Mom, get away from her. She's gonna hurt you. She killed Angel and his sister. She'll kill you too. Angel and Susu aren't real, Onyx. Besides, Loomis is nice to me. She seems like a wonderful lady. Oh no. Mom, she's not. She's really not. Please just get away from her. Onyx, I'm your mother. It'll be fine. You really need to listen to me. Mom, you aren't listening. She'll really kill you. Please, Mama. Angel is, like, the best at writing 50,000 words, like, as Lord Tuesday is going on. Always gotta get in the last stuff. Oh, we have a journal. Okay.
Journal 102, location Solace. Well, here we are again. I've been doing some work on the ship. I haven't really done much, but there's been some changes that I've wanted to do, and I've been doing them, and there's just been a lot of organizing. I've been thinking a bit also about sealing off the Moondust area. I'm not sure yet. This place has been great so far, but I do feel quite a bit uneasy having it just being around, you know, before, but I've just like traveled to see, went places. It's been just like mostly safe because I don't really stop a lot, and if I do, my ship's, you know, it's just safe. Right now it's mostly parked, so there's not that much that I can do if anyone tries to get in. But I've been living here for a bit. I like staying still. It's nice. It reminds me
Yeah,
of
this is
when
a long one.
I lived
We haven't even gotten to lore
back
sheets yet.
at Moonby, and there's just been a lot more. It's just been a lot easier. You know, that makes sense when you think about it. It's easier to live in a specific place than just rock your life in a random ship. Well, not random. I like my ship. What else? Yeah, Solace I've been exploring Solace quite a bit more, and I like it here. It's very pretty. I think I said that before. It feels bigger every single time I explore. I found a new mesa. It's absolutely gigantic, but I don't think I could get to before. Maybe this place is actively growing, which is something I haven't really seen before. It's really interesting.
So canonically, the world border is a protective shield. While it like expands or whatever as needed as the population of the area grows. And each season, like a new part of the planet is developed for more people.
But
that's why in logs when Cypher was like, I had to move the protective border, or like he said like the barrier moved suddenly or whatever. It's because he was outside the protective shield. I don't remember if we said it was like Freya or the Arcturus doing that or whatever. Anyway. But yeah, he suddenly was inside of it because it expanded. Anyway.
Lilacs archive is getting quite big. I'm not really one of the people that explore, but I still have to archive, and the archive is getting quite big. There's a lot of shipwrecks. What the fuck happened with the shipwrecks? Why is there so many of them? Is my ship gonna be a shipwreck? To be fair, I don't think I've seen really shipwrecks as big as my ship, so maybe I'm good. But what the fuck happened? I need to learn more about that.
I love when people bring like just Minecraft mechanics into the lore and being like, why are there shipwrecks? Why are there underwater temples? Was this Atlantis?
But yeah, mostly I've just been working on setting up. And yeah, see how this goes.
Think I'm gonna here. My little diary thing. Journal. It's not a diary.
The
It's totally
filter.
not a diary. Yeah. See you later.
If you do want input, I recommend having a script just because it'll help. Because, like, obviously I listen to everything on Lord Tuesday, but if you want other people who are not here, of like the 23 people that are watching, to listen to everything, making it succinct will help. And also, you can make it this length, but really pack in a bunch of stuff. Even if you just have, like, bullet points, that would help. Okay, I think we are done with Lord Tuesday. Time to move on to lore sheets. We already looked at Bloom. We have links, a PDF. My gosh. Okay. Hello again. I'm back to explain the virus. I said I would come back, and also to correct some mistakes I made from last time. Thanks for correcting me, by the way, because now that I look at the planet Sam and Lynx are from again, there are still people left, and since the planet takes place during the early 2000s, let's see how much is here. Okay, the current population in the early 2000s was around 6 billion. Since the human population jumped up over 6 billion fast in the early 2000s, so this is just an estimated guess, and divide that by the amount of... Okay, wait. Is this a lore sheet? Yeah. I don't remember if Lynx had a lore sheet before. Okay, story. A spy/adware virus called Chance created on a RimWorld set in the early 2000s. Ah, I see. So, like, the theme of the RimWorld was that, like, people want to live in, like, the 2000s. That's fair. Similar to that of Bonsai Buddy. He's made up of 5 personalities or core components that make him up as being a being, which are listed as Chaos, the Liar, the Jester, the Collector, and File 47, which is suspected to be the first core component, the building block he was made off of. However, only months after his creation, he would end up getting trapped and sealed in a computer, with security measures and systems instead of being made to keep a virus out, was made to hold and keep a virus in. The computer shortly after capture was then tossed and left to waste in a scrapyard. Approximately 1 year later, the computer booted back up, his original form now broken down and decayed to nothing but a mass of code in the form of a disproportionate person. He found himself in an unfamiliar environment on a counter. Everything was dark and dim with blinking and flashing lights. He recognized the sum of the machines in the room he was in. Their welding tools, heart monitors, and computers. He could make out what seemed to be small cages or cells with what seemed to be people strapped to titanium operating tables that were upright. However, something seemed different. He saw that that where their heads were supposed to be were instead computers and CRT monitors, with what seemed to be wires hooked up to all of them that led to a strange-looking machine. Just then, he would hear a door open as a figure stepped into what the virus assumed was a lab. As the door closed, he couldn't make out the figure at all that much, only... Please use commas! Only able to make out that he was wearing a black lab coat, and that much like the others in the room, had a black computer. Where his head should have been, unlike the others, he noticed that the display screen with this one was showing a distorted face. I drew the face that Lynx saw, which I will display now. After noticing that the figure was wearing a slightly rusted name tag, he would look closely at it, trying to make out the name every time one of the blinking lights or dim light glared or shines off it, eventually coming to the conclusion that the name tag read Dr. Komori. However, that probably wasn't the case anymore due to the fact that the name tag is rusted and old, the letters on the name tag, and how the room or lab he was in didn't exactly scream legal activity. He noticed that Komori seemed to move strangely, sort of like... Oh man, this is long. We've got this. Strangely, sort of like a marionette. They would watch the figure walk back and forth, simply looking at the others in the room and checking the heart monitors before leaving 45 minutes later. 5 hours later, Komori came back dragging what seemed to be an unconscious person. It could not make out their face since it seems to have been covered with a brown sack, though he could make out that they were wearing a white long-sleeved shirt, a black suit vest, and a long red tie. I wonder who it is. Komori would drag the person over to an empty cell, strapping him to the operating table. After that, Komori would go over to the computer. The virus was in, turning it off, leaving the virus unable to see what was going on. After an unknown amount of time, the computer was powered back on as the virus felt something was different. It wasn't on the desk anymore with something feeling off about themselves. It could actually feel, it could think, it felt alive. It would look down just to see what was now placed on top of the head of the person that was dragged in with the computer fused to their head. It would notice Komori connecting some wires and cables to the computer on the person's head that led to a strange-looking machine that looked like someone forced together a CRT monitor and an oscilloscope together. Once Komori was done and turned on the contraption, it would then notice a memory data breach in the computer system, in which they finally understood what the machine was for. It was made to suppress or restrict memories by implanting a virus made to steal and hide information such as memories. The virus didn't understand. Why would Komori want to steal away their memories? Then a realization dawned on them. He was crafting soldiers, an army under his direct command, but it didn't make sense as of why Komori would do this. There was something there that it wasn't seeing. Something it was missing. The virus would search the Komori's name online to find the right person working with limited resources since Komori had a computer on his head, but eventually they found it, an article about someone named Komori Schultz, a well-respected scientist from the state of Oregon, who was laid off following the discovery of his illegal cybernetic enhancement practices on individuals in the state. Before authorities could apprehend him, he vanished. His last recorded words were, "You may not understand yet, but once I return, you will all truly see how useful my discovery will be for the future of mankind." This left the virus with many questions that would go unanswered as it noticed something was wrong with the scientist and others in the room except for the person that he was on. They all seemed to have a dark particle slowly emitting from them, almost as if the cells that they were made of were slowly breaking down. Komori didn't seem to notice waiting for the machine to finish, and once it was done, he would turn dials, press buttons and type in new commands on the machine, seeming to want to suppress the person's emotions to finish the process. However, before he could press the button to start the process, the computer that was on his head would fall off, crashing to the ground screen first, with a loud shatter as Komori's body broke down at a rapid rate, starting at the head and then the rest of his body leaving behind nothing but the now broken computer and clothes. The same thing having happened to almost everyone in the lab, with different parts of their body breaking down first. This is the great anomaly happening here, if you don't know. I figured. Is this how it would happen? I don't know. I just sort of thought making people disappear by sort of Thanos snapping them, or how vampires burn and turn to dust or ash. Yeah, they basically just kind of like disappeared. And yeah, having that's interesting having the cybernetic parts stay. I never really thought about that. I guess that would be true. Oh, that makes me think of the Arcturus crew. Freaking Yelena's cybernetic lung just ding, ding, ding. And her arm. And freaking Light's arm too. Anyway. That'd be traumatizing to go around and see all of the people with the... Anyway. The lab was left almost abandoned and eerily quiet, the only sound left being the low hum of the odd machine and beeping of heart monitors. The virus would wonder what just happened, having watched almost everyone in the lab just break down and turn to dust and ash in front of him. It would stare at what remained of Komori for a good while before hearing a loud beeping alarm noise coming from an even stranger-looking machine. The screen was glitching out with the purple-colored commands and code flashing past the screen rapidly, too quick for him to understand, only being able to see a strange-looking symbol that kept flashing in the middle of the screen. Halfway done. As sparks and electricity started to shoot out from the machine, an overcharge warning would be displayed on the screen, with a whirring noise coming from it, getting louder until a loud boom. Please use commas! Please use commas! And periods! And semicolons! Until a loud boom came from it as a purple field of light pulsed over the area around it, including the cell the person and the virus were in. A rumbling noise would soon be heard as everything in the lab would shake, computers and tools on the tables and counters falling over or off the table. This is one sentence! Just then a message pop-up would appear on the screen that would read, "You're not supposed to be awake yet." The computer would then turn off again, leaving it in darkness. An unknown amount of time would pass by until the screen of the computer flickered on. However, it felt as if something was off until it realized the person it was alive and started to move. The lab was left in a broken down, dilapidated state, most of it seeming to have warped and fused with what he assumed were parts of a cave, showing that part of the lab they were in was underground. The person would manage to get themselves free from the now worn-down straps, stumbling forward, disoriented and unaware of their surroundings. My head hurts. Where am I? The person would mumble, looking around the lab, getting their bearings of the environment they were in as they tried to figure a way out of the lab. The virus was also confused on where it was, but figured that with its newfound awareness, it could start over. Oh no, did you get teleported to Solace? Well, it couldn't exactly do what it did in the past, but it would find some other way to cause chaos. First, it needed to learn how to gain control for moments of time. It would take a while, but it knew it had all the time it needed to learn. Then it came to them. They don't even have a name. Well, they do, but they can't just use their old name. They look nothing how they used to be. Then it would be disrespectful in their eyes. It would think on names before eventually deciding on a name which would be a reference on the link the person and the virus, needing to depend on the person to survive and the person, well, not so much. It was more like a commensalistic relationship, and now that it looks back, the reason doesn't make sense, but that didn't matter. It decided that his new name would be Lynx. Alright. There we go. I figured it out. There are approximately 68 million people left on the planet. So there were 6 billion wait. Subtract that by 1 since I brought... Oh yeah, okay. Subtract that by 1 since I brought Sam here. Oh, so okay. Hold on. Hi, Glacier. So, okay. This, you're saying this happened in the 2000s on Earth? Or a different planet, a rim planet? Because, I mean, maybe the rim planet has 6 billion, but you're basing it off of Earth's population on a rim planet. Anyway. Alright. Okay, we have Froggy. We remember Froggy. When Froggy was a normal frog, she was kidnapped by a bunch of scientists who used special potions to anthropomorphize her. After her experiment, she was successfully made a humanoid. Soon after, the Great Anomaly occurred and wiped out all of the scientists and other experiments at the time out. All except for her. After the anomaly had happened, she escaped her imprisonment and looked at the world for the first time. When she looked at the world for the first time, she saw all of its beauty and thought that all of the world and its inhabitants were like this. Nice, kind, and beautiful. When she walked through, she found the land of Solace. Wait. This was on Solace? No, it can't be, because the Great Anomaly happened... Yeah, I think this might be an error. This can't have happened on Solace. Solace didn't exist before the Great Anomaly. You gotta get to the planet somehow. The planet is basically Earth set in the early 2000s. Okay. So the same population? When you get done, this Lauren builds as a picture. Yeah, I'll look at the builds. Don't worry. Anyway. Shotha faction was surrounded by swamps and frogs. After that realization, she found herself at home. She started playing in the mud with the frogs, with the leader of the Ocular Enlightenment, Okal, found her. She discovered Froggy's night... Oh! My lights turned off, because it's getting dark outside. I gotta change the way that this works. There we go. She discovered Froggy's naive and friendly nature and decided to put it to good use for the Enlightenment. Okal then invited Froggy into the faction, and Froggy's been in the Enlightenment ever since, unknowing of their true nature and intentions. We have Jasmine. Oh, I just realized you guys can't see. Hold on. There we go. Refugee of the Everbloom. Deafening silence, the only noise resonating within the town being the wind brushing against the towering trees. It had been days since the disappearance, nights of staying up in hopes her mother would return from a sudden vanishing. Has the night finally retaliated and taken a grasp upon all life? Jasmine's thoughts raced. As the final lotuses blossomed on her makeshift chamber, a voice had guided her to build such device, one in the shape of a cherry blossom. The young woman placed her bag full of supplies, grim roses for medical needs, trinkets for memories, snacks while on the way through space. Solace, it was her goal. Turning back to the desolate town, a tear dripped from her eye. She deeply inhaled, clasping her hands together. A bright yellow daffodil grew from her palms. She crushed it, allowing the petals to fly through the air. May my journey be swift, and may the thicket consume the land we borrowed. Alright. I still think it's funny that Grim Rose Grim. What are Grim Roses? Grim Roses? A white rose, when in contact with the wound, its roots can close the wound and speed up the healing process. When placed in areas where a limb or eye was removed, it will supply its host with the ability to have the limb back or see. Such things put heavy stress on the Grim Rose, and it needs to be heavily monitored. Interesting. We have Sunny. Sunny woke up as a raccoon in a burrow on Solace 6 years ago. Just woke up when this planet was created? Something Freya created? Sunny? Not knowing much, only having a notebook and a blanket. Dementia SMP. Shortly, they discover their shape-shifting abilities, trying to fit in with all the species and having the goal of eternal happiness and long-term friends. 4. I'm 4 years old! You are the youngest person ever! We have Eve. When the great anomaly occurred, the communities Eve relied on were ruined. As survivors scrambled to cope with the loss, Eve was scattered across the universe, particles blindly reaching out for something safe and steady to hold on to. Someone else's home to settle on. Once Solace was created and people started to flock, Eve, like dust, began to collect in the corners of the world, slowly piecing back her together her form.
Name?
My name is Yuvan Marasani.
How old are you?
I'm 4 years old.
You are the youngest person ever! Now she spends her time building for visitors that only exist in her imagination. She leaves streams of empty homes in her wake, artificial ghost towns in the outskirts of life on Solace. That's cool! I like this. Ooh. Also, I like your username. Virgil and I were like, my dad works in cybersecurity, so I was like, cybersecurity works? I hope you guys can see this. It's got a little cut off. Crow! Charlie Crow. Crow comes from a long line of merchants. His family and species have been known to flee their homes and pursue a life of freedom and adventure. Having essentially no roots, he has been traveling from world to world and place to place his whole life. It took him several years before he realized what the Great Anomaly was and when it had happened. He'd been too engrossed with himself and his travels to notice that populations were scarce, and that his mother had gone radio silent. Damn! Recently he has heard whispers and rumors of this planet and has traveled here in order to seek refuge and find community for once. Nice! Alright. Wonder if they were friends with Karasu? True! Karasu? I don't remember how to say it. There was something in art that I was pinged for. Oh yeah, this. Next up, let's look at the server builds and then we'll be done. That was from the 15th. We already saw this. We already saw this. 16th. Got a wall Bagel's working on. Do this. Oh, wow. It's so beautiful. The castles this season are crazy. Just gorgeous. And with the shaders, ugh. I'm gone for a week, and if I log back on and find someone stolen my stairs again, I may just lose my marbles. I gotta come over there. You need to make a ticket. I will come over there and see who's stealing your stairs. Working on a build. Ooh. Burger? Clown? So cool. Oh, 7-4? That's nice. feel like maybe I just have been seeing this off of whatever. That's cool. This is in the end? The stinking Waffle House. Current state of my mega base. How? How are people doing this? That's incredible. We talked about bombs. This is on the Arcturus land. What is that? What is this? Oh, it's a silo! It's a silo! That's cool. Huh? Karasu, whatever, Sora was a character in the What If server on the Arcturus ship. Got a fountain. That's pretty cool. Why is my internet dying? Here we go. With the shaders. Nice. More Waffle House. Slowly building towers. Let's go. It's so detailed. Can I, like... Do you guys want, like, diamonds or netherite or something? I'll give it to you if you want to build me something. But please, someone join the Keepers of Solace and help build the Parks and Rec building. It hasn't been built. Oh yeah, the legs got up and walked away. I was trying to get a picture of it for TikTok, but they literally just walked to another place. This is pretty cool, though. Some more progress on the mega base? God damn. It's like week 3! How are you guys doing this? Oh, we got the underwater base. Super cool. It's so scary looking. The glow squid. Amazing. Hold on, I'm getting DM'd. Is this something I need to see on stream? Oh no, I have to rescue Virgil. I have to rescue Virgil. Firewatch! Oh my gosh, please tell- has anyone else played Firewatch, the game? It's like one of my favorite games ever. Alright, I need to go rescue Virgil. He's putting fluorescent lights in a log cabin. It's over. It's over. We're flaming Virgil. I'm coming to flame Virgil too. Alright, I'll see you all next, day. I'll see you on day. Bye. My name Kronk. Me name Kronk. Goodbye. Have lore stream. Good night.